guys, just wanted to make a video about how I've become this conspiracy theorist that I am today. I guess it all goes back to start September 11th, 2001. I was kind of a young adult at that time. I was at work that day, and I remember the guy I worked with came over to me and said, a plane just hit a building in New York. And I'm thinking, well, that's really odd. I mean, how can a plane be so low as to hit a building? So I went back to work, didn't think much about it. And a little bit later, he came back to me again and said, "You're not going to believe this. Another plane hit the other tower, hit the other building." And like I said, I was a young adult at the time. Two twin towers, I really didn't know anything about them. But that didn't make any sense. I knew something, obviously something was wrong. Then you know, he came back over a little later and said that they're supposedly chasing another plane or something, and there was another plane hijacked. Obviously, this was odd, not normal. And I remember thinking, holy shit, we're under attack by someone. But then, you know, a couple of weeks goes by, and I remember Bush coming out and saying, we're going to go to a war with Iraq. And he's talking about 9/11 and stuff, and I'm thinking, well, this guy, that Bin Laden, that supposedly masterminded this whole thing, wasn't from Iraq. So why the hell are we going to our war with Iraq 2 weeks after we get, you know, this huge thing happen here? To me, that was probably the first big red flag for me. You know, going back to Waco and going back to Oklahoma City bombing, I believed them. I mean, that's what the news said. That's what the news said, right? So time goes by a little bit, and I believe what they're saying. You know, keep in the back of my mind that, you know, this doesn't make sense, that we're going to war with Iraq over 9/11 kind of deal. And I watched a video that I'm kind of reprehensive about saying that I watched, but it was Fahrenheit 9/11 with that dummy Michael Moore. But he did have some good points in the video. Some questions that didn't make sense. So, you know, still, at this point, I'm still believing what the mainstream media told me, because they're the news, they're supposed to report the news. So we go on to, I think it was around 2006 or 2011, I can't remember when the video actually came out, but I heard a lot about a video called The Zeitgeist. One night I started to watch it, and I got about 5 minutes into it, and I'm thinking, this is fucking retarded. So I turned it off. The next day I got bored, I had nothing to do. I said, okay, I'm gonna go watch this. So I watched it, and the first part of it was about religion and how religion is skewed and blah blah blah, and I didn't really buy much into that, but I went ahead and watched it anyway. The second part was another red flag for me. When they started talking about the banking systems and how the banking systems work, and how the Federal Reserve isn't a government office or a government part of the government. It's a privately owned bank. That blew my fucking mind. I mean, they didn't teach me that in school. The government runs school. Why did they not tell me that in school? That's where you're supposed to learn this shit. But they left that out for some reason. That was a big, like I said, another big red flag for me. I remember watching another video. You know, at that point I'm thinking, okay, I got to figure out what this is all about. I started watching other videos, started reading other things. I watched a video called American Dream, or The American Dream. It was like a cartoon, but it was perfect. It told exactly, from now I know, but it told perfectly how the banking systems work, how they started at the very beginning, what they've done over the years to destroy our economy. So, I think I watched some more videos about 9/11. I watched Loose Change, which was a very good one that really opened my eyes a lot. I can't remember if it was Zeitgeist or if it was Loose Change that brought up the document Operation Northwoods. This was another huge red flag for me, another eye-opener. When I seen it, I didn't believe it. I said, there's no way. That is crazy. That's real. That's not real. These people are making this shit up. I do research on it, and I find out it's totally real. It's almost exactly what happened in 9/11. If you haven't looked at this, you should. So, at this point, I'm thinking, something's wrong. Something's not right. Something's going on. Whatever. So I continue to watch videos, do research, read stuff about the government, about 9/11, about banking systems, about big companies, big corporations, how they work. Then I guess the next thing, I watched a video called Confessions of an Economic Hitman one time. If you never watched that, that would be a good video to watch. The guy is I'm not sure how old it is. It's probably in the 90s or maybe 2000, I don't know. But the guy totally talks about how if our government don't like the way another country's doing something, they'll try to buy them off. If they can't buy them off, they'll try to assassinate them, kill them, or if that don't work, they'll try to get the people to uprise against that government. And now you can take that, if you know this, if you listen to what this guy says and you go today, you'll start seeing what they're doing. But anyway, Confessions of an Economic Hitman was a very good video. I went on, time went on. I didn't have all the pieces of the puzzle together. I didn't really understand everything. I knew something was wrong. Then we go, in the Arizona shooting, the Gabby Gifford shooting. I didn't really pay much attention to that, or the Aurora shooting. But December 12th, 2012, I definitely paid attention to that. Whenever I heard about it, I think I was on Facebook or something back then when I had Facebook. Somebody said there was a shooting in Connecticut in a school. So I turned on the news. At this point, real quick, I just want to make a point that at this point I figured out, before the shooting, just kind of going back a little bit, I figured out that TV is not good. All this American Idol and all this Bachelor and all this garbage that's on TV is a distraction. It manipulates people. In my opinion, it's disgusting and stupid. And I turned my cable off in about 2007, 2008 or something. I have never had it since, and I won't probably ever have it again. I don't see why I would. And at this point, I start to figure out that the mainstream media is not quite what I thought they were. But I'll get into that more in a minute. December 12th, 2012, the kids shooting at Sandy Hook. When I heard it, I thought, oh my God, that is crazy. I cannot believe it. A guy walked into a school and killed a bunch of kids and some teachers. I guess I was like everybody else in shock. And I remember a couple of days later, I was at a restaurant by where I live, and they had a TV up in there, and they showed for, I guess, the first time I ever seen them, the pictures of the kids. And here I am, a grown man, pretty tough guy, and as I looked at those pictures of the kids, I almost started crying. Yeah, it was that bad. So a couple of days later, or maybe a few days later, or whatever, a week later, or whatever, I remember watching a video by a guy, and I can't remember his name. I think it was Brendan something, but I can't remember what it was. It was just a few weeks after that happened, and it was like a 2-hour or 3-hour long video of him talking and discussing the, I guess, oddities or stuff that didn't make sense in the Sandy Hook shooting. And I started thinking, that doesn't make sense. That is really odd. So I started looking at more and more and more, become almost obsessed with it, and started, you know, kind of, I've never made a video ever, and the first video I ever made was about the scanner, the police scanner timeline. I basically just cut out all the garbage and all that stuff, all the stuff that didn't matter, you know, the stuff you couldn't hear, whatever. And it didn't get a lot of views, but that's okay, because I really did it for myself. And I listened to that thing probably 5, 6, 7, 8 times. I don't remember. I took notes and everything. And a lot of stuff in that didn't make sense either. And then I remember they showed the picture of Adam Lanza. The first picture that I ever seen. I suppose it's the first one they ever put out. And it was so, I'm not a Photoshop expert, but I'm not a dumbass either. And that picture was so disgustingly stupid. He looked like a damn alien. It was so obvious that it was Photoshopped. Again, another one of those red flags. So I you know, I looked at the old, and then they started coming out with other pictures of him. And then I remember one day the picture came out of him from his college ID or whatever. And the first time I seen that, I said, holy shit, that's totally fake. It's obvious. How could anybody believe this crap? And I remember talking to somebody else, and they said, yeah, as soon as I seen it, I knew it was fake too. Yeah, you're not crazy. So, you know, at this point, I'm starting to figure out this is messed up. Something's not right. This is crazy. With everything I've ever watched before, and I started putting things together. But, you know, we can move on to April 15th, 2013. The Boston bombing. I remember a friend telling me they're blowing up Boston. And I thought, what the hell is he talking about? So I turned on the news, and sure enough, there we go, the Boston bombing. And right off the bat, because of Sandy Hook, I'm thinking, yeah, this could be bullshit. But for me to confirm that, I have to see more information. I have to do more research. I started watching more videos. Some of them were totally garbage. Some of them you can't deny. The Boston bombing was a hoax. Another one, another Sandy Hook. Another manipulation of people. And I remember one day I was, I don't remember exactly what it was I was watching or looking at or whatever, but I remember saying to myself, and it just kind of struck me, holy shit, these brothers did not do this. And there's no way that I am going to let anybody tell me any different. At that point, I had figured it out. That's bullshit. All these fucking Photoshop pictures of them at the Boston bombing one guy didn't have a leg. I mean, he wasn't in the bombing, ironically. It was because the damn picture had been photoshopped. And after a little bit of this, after, you know, like I said, whenever they was supposedly chasing these brothers, I stayed up all night long from the beginning all the way until 9 o'clock the next day. Listened to every single thing they said on the radio. I mean, on the scanner. I had a scanner on, and then I also had the news on the other TV. Yeah, I know I said I didn't have cable. I don't. There's actually ways of watching news on the internet, believe it or not. But it was obvious that this was a total hoax. Another one. So yeah, the Boston bombing was totally a hoax. But the wheelchair, Jeff Bauman, whatever the hell his name is, whatever name they gave him, it's totally ridiculous. So, you know, you fast forward to the next hoax, the DC shooting, Navy Yard shooting. Just another hoax. It's stupid. You move on to the DC woman, crazy woman that got shot. Another total debunked hoax. The Kenyan Mall shooting, you know, put out a video about McCain meeting with the Kenyan ambassador the day before this happened. Come on, what's the odds of that? They were setting it up. Then you fast forward, you know, to today, where we are today. You got all these damn shootings going all over the place. You know, we got to get this gun control, right? Disarming Americans, that's, you know, like I said earlier, the NWO and the Illuminati and the elites, or whatever you want to call them, it's real. These, you know, the Ukraine thing is done by them. The Egyptian thing was done by them. You know, they're starting to do that kind of crap here with the racial tensions and the gun crap, and you know, Obama with his fake birth certificate, which is so damn obvious. We're in a little trouble. People don't wake up. It may be too late. You know, like I said, I want to make this video to show you that I'm not, or, you know, not everybody is a crazy conspiracy theorist. People actually do research. People have logic behind their reason, behind their thinking. And I've seen so many videos, and I must admit some of them are totally ridiculous. But there's been so many videos about Sandy Hook, about Boston bombing, about Kenyan shooting, about all this other stuff that I've talked about, that you can't deny it. The ultimate, in my eyes, the way that I see through everything that I've looked at, like I said, the Illuminati, the NWO, the whatever the hell you want to call them, is true. It's real. It's happening right now. One world government, one religion, which is Satanism. They're all, it kind of sounds stupid to say it, but it's just true. They're all satanic, evil people. It's bad, and it is. Ultimately, like I said, in my eyes, be all the puppet governments that the United States has in place against Russia and China. And once they have all these damn strategic places lined out, like they want to get in Syria for position on Russia. They want to get in Ukraine for position on Russia. And they want to get in Egypt for position on Russia. And now this, the Malaysian flight that went down, that was just more stuff done by these people to find out what China can do, to bring out their warships, what kind of satellite pictures they have, whatever. This is all done by them. I'm not just spitting this shit out. I've done research on it. I've looked at it. I've critically thought about it. And it's all leading up to, again, the one world order, one world religion. And it's, you know, one last thing I'm going to talk about is whenever I first started, when I first started living, when I first started, when I was first born, all the way up until maybe a year ago, I never had a religion. I didn't believe in God. I did not believe in God. I just, you know, I don't know. At that time, I didn't know. But doing this research and looking at all this stuff and how everything is going, I can now say that I do believe in God. I do believe in Jesus. I believe in the Bible, because if you look at the Bible, and like I said, I had some people tell me, my grandmother told me about the Bible. My dad never was religious. I didn't live with my mom, but that doesn't matter. But if you look at the Bible and some things they say in the Bible is coming true now, and you can't deny. How could they have known this thousands of years ago that this is going to start happening? It's crazy, but it is happening. And the Illuminati is real. Well, the NWO, Illuminati, the elites, the world powers, the powers that be, whatever the hell they are, whatever they want to be called, or whatever, is true and it's happening. And people will see eventually. If they won't open their eyes and look now, they will see eventually. Thanks.